I wish to take care of one sum on reconstruction of a partnership firm, that's about distribution of accumulated profits between partners. Observe the sum. Maulik and Deepa are partners in a firm. Their profit and loss sharing ratio is 2:1. Balances as on 31st of March 2004 are as follows. Reserve fund credit balance 9,000. Profit and loss account debit balance 12,000. Workers profit sharing fund credit balance 15,000. Workers accident compensation fund credit balance 6,000. On the above date, Maulik and Deepa decided to change their profit and loss sharing ratio. Their new profit and loss sharing ratio is 3:2. Write journal entries in the books of the firm for distribution of accumulated profits and loss. Now let me take one by one each item. Reserve fund credit balance 9,000. This is the accumulated profit of the firm. This profit was accumulated in a period prior to the date on which the profit sharing ratio is changed. So this is a profit that should be distributed in the old profit sharing ratio. So this profit should be distributed amongst partners in the old profit sharing ratio 2:1. Now 9,000 into 2/3, 6,000 share of reserve will be credited to Maulik capital account because Maulik's share is 2/3. 9,000 into 2/3, 6,000 should be given to Maulik. So Maulik capital account gets credited with 6,000. 9,000 into 1/3, 3,000 share of reserves credited to Deepa's capital account. So 6,000 and 9,000 gets credited to partner's capital account in the old profit sharing ratio, and reserve fund account gets debited. Observe the journal entry. Reserve fund account debit 9,000, to Maulik capital account credit 6,000, to Deepa's capital account credit 3,000, being reserved distributed amongst partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Now let me take next balance. Profit and loss account debit balance 12,000. Now this profit and loss account debit balance is an accumulated loss. This loss that has occurred to the firm before change in the profit sharing ratio. So it should be distributed in a profit sharing ratio that existed before this change. So this loss should be distributed amongst partners in the old profit sharing ratio 2:1. Now 12,000 into 2/3, 8,000 loss debited to Maulik capital account, and 12,000 into 1/3, 4,000 loss debited to Deepa capital account. So partners capital account debit, profit and loss account gets credited. Look at the journal entry. Maulik capital account debit 8,000, Deepa's capital account debit 4,000, to profit and loss account credit 12,000. This is a accumulated loss distributed amongst partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Next. Workers profit sharing fund, workmen profit sharing fund is a share of profit that which belongs to the workers, not to the partners. It is a liability of a firm and is reported in the balance sheet, and it cannot be distributed amongst partners in their old profit sharing ratio. This is a liability of the firm. The profit belongs to the workers because the partnership firm has promised to give them share in profit, and it's a liability of the firm that cannot be distributed amongst partners in their profit sharing ratio. Next. Workers accident compensation fund credit balance 6,000. Workers accident compensation fund credit balance 6,000 implies that profit is appropriated to meet with the loss on account of compensation to be paid to a worker in the event of an accident. Now, This accumulated profit, so long as accident has not occurred, this accumulated profit is an undistributed profit. So, this accumulated undistributed profit of the firm, this is an accumulated undistributed profit of the firm if no claim exists there against. So, if there is no claim is existing against this appropriation, then it's an undistributed profit. But it is a liability to the extent the claim that exists against it. So here we are not given any information about the claim against it. So we presume that this is an undistributed profit and it should be distributed amongst partners in their profit sharing ratio that is old one. So this profit should be distributed amongst partners in their old profit sharing ratio. 6,000 into 2/3, 4,000 share of accident compensation fund to be credited to Maulic capital account, and 6,000 into 1/3, 2,000 share of accident compensation fund credited to Deepa's capital account. So partner's capital account is credited and workman compensation fund account is debited. Look at the journal entry. Workman compensation fund account debit to Maulic capital account to Deepa's capital account, being workers' accident compensation fund distributed amongst partners in their profit sharing ratio. I think you must have followed the explanation of all these things. If you want to observe all the journal entries at one place, look at it. This is how sum gets solved. Thanks to all of you.